Okay, in today's video, I've got several inspections I have to do today. I'm not sure if I'm going to get them all on video or not. Probably, if I had to make my guess, it would be no, I'm not going to videotape them all. But I'm going to look and do an inspection on a split that I made a while back, and a package of bees that I installed that had a virgin queen. She wasn't laying eggs, and I pinched the virgin queen. I think it was last Wednesday. Yeah, last Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday, and I put a carnea queen in that box, and I'll take a look at that today as well. But for right now, I'm going to take a look at the split that I've got. And like I said, I'm not videoing. I think it's important for people to see the failures just as much as it is to see the successes. I think we might have our first failure here. The smoker didn't stay lit. Let's open that up. So I'm gonna run back real quick and grab the torch and relight this thing. So, and this one usually lit up pretty good. All right, so let's look down here. This will be the hive we're going to look at. This is the split. I'm going to put my gloves on. Been up cutting firewood all day today, and getting the firewood ready for winter. I mean, that's kind of par for the course of, you know, country life, small farms. It's all good. So we'll take that off and place it down here where I can get to it. Get my hive tools. Okay, I can tell that these guys have got a lot on the top frame here. I'm gonna give them a healthy dose of smoke here, and really kind of try to drive them back down into the box before I pop this lid off. So let's pop it off and see what we got. So we got some bees on there. It's always good. Feeders. Put those back. All right. So that was kind of crappy. What the paper is in the wintertime, I put some shredded paper up on there, and usually what that does, just to kind of wick out some moisture, give it a little more insulation on the hive, along with the burlap that I put on there. And I'm gonna send you guys down in there. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a lot of bees in here. I'm guessing just opening this up and looking at it that this is probably ready for another box, and I probably will put a box on there. Before I close this up, I've got a bunch of boxes that are ready to go out there by the goat barn. So like I said, usually when I do inspections, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look down in here and I'm going to see the frames that have the least amount of bees. And that's the frame I'm going to pull to make some space to do the inspection. A lot of bees in here right now. So I'm going to take that, put this over here. Looks like a pretty new frame there. So get my J hook. I really like J hooks for grabbing frames, people. It's nice to have. So I'm gonna get in here, the J hook, lift that up. And on the other side, the same thing. I'm going to get in there, lift it up. Alrighty. Okay, this is just a frame of straight foundation. You can see that they've already made their way over to this frame. And like I said, this was the frame with the least amount of bees on it. So they're starting to work on this. It looks like maybe doing a little wax up there on the top. Not gonna worry about the queen being in this one. She won't be in there. And I'll put that in. If you want to see where I'm putting some of the frames, that when I pull them out, I put them in this cardboard nuke box, just as kind of a place to hold the bees. I could shut it so that they don't come out at me and fly around at me in there. I'm going to drive these guys back down into the hive. Just there's a lot of bees in here. Alright, let's start pulling frames and see what we got. Oh, okay. So, if you can see in between the frames, you'll see a bunch of different colors and whatnot, and that is bee bread, which is pollen. So in this frame here, I'm seeing pollen. This frame here, they're just starting to work on. Not really seeing any eggs or larvae down in there. So just to give myself more space, I'm going to put this in that nuke box as well. All right. Let's see what this frame has to offer. Oh, okay. What does this frame have to offer? We see a lot of brood on this frame. Pollen, larva, some drones here. Get rid of that. Yeah, they'll get rid of them. And on the other side of the frame, not really anything. They're just working it, getting ready to put stuff in there. But we got a good brood pattern on that. Seeing the brood on there, I'm not going to. I might pull a couple more frames, and really that's about it for this one here. I'm looking at this one here, and I don't want to crush any of these bees or anything like that, so I'm going to give them a healthy dose of smoke on there. Seeing a lot of brood on here. And then up in here, up on the top of the frame, you're seeing a lot of drone brood. And a lot of brood and larvae on there too. This queen is going to town. Drone brood is, I mean, having drone is good. I'd rather see them have the drone on the frame rather than on the bottoms of the frames. For the simple fact that it's easier for me to work the hive. Drones, all they do is take up resources. Okay. So I'm gonna stand up here and a little more comfortable with this. See, now what we got here is we got more drone brood, a lot of larvae in there. I'm hoping that that'll show up for you guys to be able to see all that. Now the brownish sandpaper looking stuff, that's cap larvae, and then of course in between all that, if you look in there, you see some wormy looking stuff. That's bee larvae. Not quite capped yet. On this side of the frame, you can see it down there on the bottom. There's more drone down there on the bottom. I'm gonna leave that just because it is good to leave some drone in your hive. This hive is thriving. Coming into the next frame, I better give him some smoke on that. This next frame also has a lot of brood. Okay, so you got a lot of brood on this one, a lot of larvae. I'm looking for swarm cells down here in the end, but that's just all brood. Look at this on this side. Look at all that brood on there. That's just beautiful. Last frame, people. This here colony is ready for another. All right, and this one here, I think the queen is on this one. There's larvae down there, there's eggs. If you look on there toward the top, up in here, you can see it. There's a lot of larvae on that frame. There's eggs in here. A lot of larvae and a lot of eggs on this one as well. Okay. I'm done with the inspection on this one. I just pulled up 4 damn near solid frames of brood, and I think I got brood on the other side of this as well. Coming these at least 1 or 2 more frames of brood in here. This hive is about ready to explode. So yeah, when I close this up, I'm going to put everything back. The way that I had it, the way that it was. I'm going to go over there and grab the 10 frame box that I already have drawn comb in that box. And I'm going to put it up on this one here. Come on, get away, guys. I'm going to take these 2 frames that I pulled out earlier. And these go back in. I have some straw in here from carrying over my smoker, so bees won't mind that. So smoking down. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a frame or another box and put that up on there. Now there's some space in between these frames in this box and below, so it might look like I'm going to be crushing bees, but I'm not. Just adding a box. These bees will, I said these were out by the goat barn. So there are bees, there's bees that were in here checking this box out earlier today, and they're still in there wandering around, probably picking out whatever little resources are left in there. This was one that I had overwintered, or tried to overwinter, and this came off a colony that didn't survive. This could have been one of the colonies that I accidentally smoked out, because I accidentally blew an ember in there over the winter when I was feeding these things, and started a frame on fire without even really knowing it, until I came and checked in the spring. I knew the colony had gone and died out, but wasn't sure why. There's no bees in the box, no nothing. And then when I started pulling out frames to find out, I had like 3 or 4 of them that were just charred on the bottom of the frame. So the bees, you know, they left. I couldn't find any bees in the hive, so apparently they took off and left. It was a fairly strong hive going into February, and I think it was around the first week of February. I came down here and fed them, and I noticed that had happened. I didn't think that anything would come out of it, but it did, and I lost a hive. But before I go, man, I got to say this. Today is Monday. It's Memorial Day. And first off, I want to say Semper Fi to all my Marines out there. Yes, I am a vet, a Marine Corps vet. And you'll get a lot of people that, hey, thank you for your service on Memorial Day and stuff like that. But Memorial Day is different from Veterans Day. This is the day that we remember those that fought in the wars for our freedom and to keep our freedoms. Some of them didn't come home, some of them did come home, and some of them had conditions when they came home, and maybe survived the war but didn't survive the aftermath. These things are always kind of sad for me, but I just want to say thank you to all of our vets. even though I just said that it's different from Veterans Day, but thanks to, just want to thank those and be grateful and just be grateful for soldiers, sailors, Marines, Coast Guards that went before us, and I guess now we also have Space Force. So yeah, just want to thank for everyone that's given the ultimate sacrifices so that I can do this. I can come in here and do my bee yard. Again, Semper Fi to my Marines. Love you guys. Over and out. Bye.